Guys, Timoshi here, and welcome back to my Adventures of Timoshi's Story. We're literally continuing off from the first episode after Tamari had literally fallen into the uh, Nimbus Cloud, and we're going into a small village now, and we're going to be introduced to some villains who were in Dragon Ball, but now I decided to add them here. So let's begin with the next part of the story. Meanwhile, in a small village, Rikum and Berta have come looking for the six-star ball, and they start killing many of the villagers until the elder comes out and hands them the ball. But then, after the elder gives them the ball, they just kill the kind old elder, and then they head back to Lothar's palace and hand him the ball. Ha 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 ha! It looks like we only need three more balls, and then I can make my wish to rule the world. Ha ha ha! It seems that Lothar was looking for the wishing orbs as well, and over the past 4 months, they have already found four dragon. Hold on. Let me change that quickly. I didn't change it all, so we'll just change this right here. Yep, so there we go. That's a little bit better. So let's do that again. Looking for the wishing orbs as well. And over the past 4 months, they have already found four wishing orbs. And then one. Okay. And then one of his men tells him that the seven-star ball is located in the Sun Kingdom, ruled by King Escanor. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's just great. That's all we need. He is way too strong for any of you to handle. So I'll just send out my two strongest warriors to handle him. Ginyu and Garlic. Go and kill him and retrieve the ball. The two evil men comply with their leader's order, and head to the Sun Kingdom to kill Escanor and take the seven-star ball. After they arrive in the Sun Kingdom, Garlic is struck in the head, and they see that they then see a young girl standing in front of them, and this girl was Kitty May. And when she kicked Garlic, it actually killed him, causing Ginyu to retreat without getting the ball. After a while, Lothar found out about Ginyu and Garlic failing to get the wishing orb. So he decided to go to the Sun Kingdom and get the ball himself. So he and the Ginyu force went to the Sun Kingdom, and then they encountered Nico Robin. No, hold on. Let me change the name. I forgot to her name isn't Nico Robin anymore. It was supposed to be, but it's so. Oh, crap. There we go. And they encountered Kitty May. He was the one who killed Garlic, and then Ginyu rushed at her, but he got punched in the chest by Timoshi. And after that, Ginyu backed off. And then Guldo tried to use his magic to affect Timoshi's movements, but saw that his magic didn't even affect Timoshi. And then he fired a blast that killed Guldo. And also, when that blast hit, it also killed Riku. And so Lothar saw that his men were losing, so he decided that he would enter the battle. And then a man called Shoto Todoroki, who was loyal to Lothar, saw how powerful Timoshi is. He then decided to join our heroes on their journey, and when Lothar saw this, he then returned to his base. And then he thought, how the hell could his strongest force lose to a kid? So he decided to send out Pilaf and his crew to collect the rest of the wishing orbs. And then when Lucy saw Shoto, she had feelings for him, and he actually felt the same way. And they decided to start dating. So she abandoned her selfish wish and then decided that she would wish for a lifetime supply of ice cream instead. And then he introduced the heroes to his friend who was was last of her race, and her name was Rin. And then 6 hours later, after retrieving the 7-star ball from King Escanor, he then threw our heroes a massive feast. Timoshi has finally met with Kitty May, who found Timoshi to be a very handsome boy, and she asked him if she could be his girlfriend in the future when they are 16 years old, and Timoshi actually says yes. And then she joins the Z Warriors on their journey to find the wishing orbs. And then 3 days into their journey, they come across a village that is being terrorized by a man called Cell. Hold on. Go take a drink here. There we go. And he only does this because he is bored. And then Timoshi goes and confronts Cell. And Cell says, "Who the hell are you, Pipsqueak? Leave now before I'm forced to kill you." Timoshi doesn't say a word. He just punches Cell in the chest, causing him to be sent flying through a wall. And then after 4 hours, Cell came to and realized that this kid was far stronger than him. So after he reunited with Rin, his former girlfriend, he decided to abandon his evil ways and join our heroes on their journey. So now our heroes have 3 of the 7 witching orbs. And then our heroes make their way to Lothor's base. After hearing about it from Cell, and after two full days, they finally arrive at Lothor's castle. But before they can retrieve the wishing orbs, they are captured by the Pilaf crew and imprisoned. Timoshi then hyperventilates because he has major claustrophobia. And then he shoots a Kamehameha, an attack he learnt from his grandpa, at one of the walls and manages to destroy it, gaining the Z warriors their freedom. And then they encountered what was left of the Ginyu force, and Timoshi steps up and then says, "Okay, guys, I'll deal with this." Ginyu laughs and tells him that he is a fool for thinking that he could defeat the Ginyu force. And then Berto launches at Timoshi, but Timoshi just fires a blast to kill Berto. He also kills Jace without even breaking a sweat. And that left Captain Ginyu to fight with Timoshi. And after a fierce 3-hour battle, Timoshi is able to defeat Ginyu by killing him with a blast. Then the Pilaf gang also tried to kill our heroes, but Cell then fires the blast and kills all 3 of the gang. And that only left Lothor to be the final enemy alive. And he tried to retreat with all 7 wishing orbs after taking the 3 our heroes had on them. Lothor was heading outside to summon the dragon to make his wish to rule the world, but Timoshi comes in front of him and stops him from summoning the dragon. Then their battle begun, and Timoshi was having the upper hand for most of the fight until Lothor powered up and started to dominate the fight. Then Lothor noticed that Timoshi just smiled, and then all of his wounds healed instantly. Lothor and the others are shocked to see this. And then Lothor is defeated after a grueling 2 hour fight. And then Lothor tried to plead for his life, but Timoshi doesn't listen. He just fires a blast at Lothor. He just fires a blast, and Lothor was killed. And that ended his reign of terror forever. And with that, Lucy had finally gathered all of the 7 wishing orbs, and she summoned the dragon, and she then told Timoshi that he could have the wish, but he declined it. And so Lucy wished for a lifetime supply of ice cream, and then they left, and then they leave to go back to the city of Magnolia, but Timoshi declines that but Timoshi decides that he will go to Master Roshi's island and ask him to train him. Timoshi then said goodbye to his friends, and before he could leave, Kitty May then asks him if she could come with him. But Tomoshi just smiled at her and tells her that she would see him again 2 years from now at the World Fighters competition. And the reason for that is because the competition is held once every 5 years. And so Kitty decided to train with the other three warriors for the competition. Timoshi then called the Nimbus Cloud, the flying Nimbus, and flies to Roshi's island. And while he was flying to the island, a young boy named Itachi was making his way towards Roshi's island, and then makes. Oh, let me adjust something here. I just forgot to put in a certain word. There we go. Makes it there after 4 hours, but notices Timoshi was already on the island and was already training with the old master. Then Itachi asked Roshi if he could train with him as well. And Roshi never really takes on more than 2 students at the same time, but gladly agrees to train Itachi and Timoshi, and then tells Tamari and the boys that they are going to be moving to a bigger island to train the boys, to begin the boys' 2 training course. So about 2 weeks into Timoshi and Itachi's training, they see that Whis and Anubis had arrived, and Roshi asks them who they are and what they are doing, interrupting our training session. Anubis then gets angry and says, you foolish mortals, show some respect. You haven't got a clue on who we are, do you? If you don't show us respect, I will Hakai you. Then Roshi backs off, and Whis then tells them that he will be handling Timoshi's training from now on, and this was a request from the Grand Master himself. And then Roshi knew who the Grand Master is, so he told Timoshi because no one could refuse a request from the Grand Master, because if they did, they would be erased from existence. And Timoshi asked who would be training him, and he said that it would be Hokuro, the Swordsmaster in Tempest. Wow, I get to train with Hokuro? That's awesome! We then told him that he needs to leave for Tempest immediately. And then Whis and Anubis tell Timoshi that they have watched him for 12 years, and they can see that he will become a very powerful hero in the future. So after Whis and Anubis have left, Timoshi tells his new best friend Itachi and the others goodbye, and he calls the flying Nimbus and heads to Tempest. So then after about 4 hours, Timoshi arrives in Tempest and is reunited with Shion, Ranga, and the rest of the people who raised him, and then sees Hokuro and asks him if he could train him, and Hokuro tells him that he will, and then tells him that Whis had come to Tempest and told Hokuro to train Timoshi for the 21st World Fighters competition, and then within 4 months into Timoshi's training, he has gotten a lot stronger because he was training with a strong swordsman, and the swordsman was Hokuro, and he had a power level of 9,000. That gave Timoshi a power level of 7,500. And then Gobta came to the pair and told them that Lord Rimuru needs to see them, and so they went to see Rimuru, as he told them that there are 3 intruders in the great forest of Jura, and these 3 villains are called Hades, Meliodas, and the leader of these 3, he was called Clayman Jr. And Clayman Jr. And it would seem that Clayman Jr. was here in Tempest to get revenge for the death of his father, Deathman Clayman. And so he says, Rimuru, where are you? You bastard. I'm here to kill you for the death you inflicted on my father. I won't rest until you're dead. I don't know. Okay. Let's just do something like this. There we go. I'm going to end it pretty soon anyway. Let's see when I'm going to end it. Maybe after the defeat of... I don't know. Let's see where am I going to end it. Right here. That's where we're going to end it. Rimuru and the rest of the citizens of Tempest heard this and came rushing to the site of the invasion by Clayman Jr. and his men. Timoshi sees Hades and Meliodas and he can sense no malicious intent within them. So he asked Rimuru if he could fight Clayman and end him. And Rimuru and the others can see how strong Timoshi has gotten already, but his mentor Hakuro says that he isn't ready to fight with Clayman yet, as the villain's power is above Timoshi's level. But then Rimuru tells him that he can fight with Hades and Meliodas and only defeat them. And he tells him not to kill them. And Timoshi is happy to hear this and flies up to meet Hades and Meliodas and says, "You're interrupting my training session, so I will be defeating you now, so that I can get back to training." The two villains laugh at the young boy, and then Hades launches an attack at Timoshi and sees that it hits him head on. But after the smoke clears, he sees that Timoshi is injured, but Hades is surprised when he sees Timoshi just healed his wounds instantly. And Hades then says, "What the hell are you, kid? You are not normal, and clearly you're not human or a monster. So what are you?" Timoshi doesn't answer. He just fires the Kamehameha at both Hades and Meliodas, defeating them both, and they pass out. And Clayman Jr. notices this, and he realizes that Timoshi is strong for a kid. So he tells our heroes that he is going to retreat for now and train, so he is stronger than Timoshi and even Rimuru, the one who killed his father. So after about an hour after the battle, Hades and Meliodas wake up and they notice that Clayman's control spell has been broken. And so, with the spell broken, Hades and Meliodas decide to stay in Tempest. Decide to stay in Tempest and to help defend the country. And that's because Hades is the former Prime Minister of Magnolia and a friend of King Rimuru and the other kings in the world. And so with Clayman Jr.'s defeat, Timoshi can finally get back to his training, to his 2 years of training. But Timoshi decided that after 1 year of training in Tempest, he'll go off and train on his own for 4 months, and then he'll return to Hakuro for the remainder of his training. Timoshi's training goes very well because after 2 years of training, Timoshi's power level has increased big time, and his power level was now 8500. And so he is ready to leave for the Sorcerer Kingdom for the World Fighters competition. And this is where things are going to be very interesting going forward, because Timoshi knows he will win the entire competition. And 3 days go by, and Timoshi now arrives in the Sorcerer Kingdom, and then he heads to the site of the Fighters competition to sign up. And when he gets there, he bumps into Kitty May, who runs up to him and hugs him, and they have a very nice reunion. And during this reunion between Timoshi and Kitty May, they actually share their very first kiss. And They kiss for at least 5 minutes, only stopping after they notice their friends arriving, and they go over to them, each holding. They go over to them holding each other's hand, and Lucy sees this and realizes that Timoshi and Kitty May are now in a relationship with each other. And then Timoshi and Kitty May kissed again, and then the friends go to the front of the competition arena to sign up, and the ones who sign up are as follows. The first is Timoshi who signs up. First is Timoshi who signs up. Next is Todoroki. He is the second one to sign up, and lastly is Itachi who signs up. And so the roster of the championship is now secured, and the person in the front of the desk says to them that the preliminary rounds will happen in 2 weeks from now. And so now our heroes go and stay in a nearby hotel, and while they are there, someone comes to the city, and it's Clayman Jr. looking for revenge on Timoshi for lifting the mind control on Hades and Meliodas. And so he looks for at least 3 hours. Then after he looks, Clayman Jr. is able to find Timoshi, and now a battle is about to ensue. Well, 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 Timoshi, we finally meet again after two whole years. After you humiliated me back in Tempest. Timoshi didn't answer. He just smiled, and this infuriates Clayman Jr., and he launches an attack at Timoshi, and it damages Timoshi's body. But Timoshi keeps smiling as he heals his wounds. And Clayman Jr. sees this, and his eyes widen as he realizes that Timoshi can heal. So he comes up with an idea to use some of his magic to block Timoshi's healing power. But Timoshi laughs again and tells him that magic doesn't work on him. And so this is where I will leave the episode here. I'm going to leave the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really wanted to make sure I got another episode out. So in the next episode, we're going to be going on with the Clayman Jr. fight and stuff like that. So it's going to be really good. I probably will put the links in the description. I'm not sure about that, but this is the next episode of my Adventures of Timoshi series, episode 2, and this is the continuation from the first episode. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. So like and comment on the video. Like I said, the links will be in the description, I hope. And basically, don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you can stay up to date with every upload to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe as well. I've been Tim Saker, and as always, stay true to yourself.